Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affair of 11th of March 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 15 to 16 very important and the most important current affairs. So watch the video till last, but I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video maximum to maximum, and you have to subscribe our channel if you are new on this platform. And guys, before proceeding, I just want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that what are the benefits of Affairs Cloud subscription and what are the methods to buy this Affairs Cloud subscription. You have to download our application. That is the only method to buy our Affairs Cloud subscription. What is the name of application? Application name is Careers Cloud. You can download from the description box link. We put a downloading link of this application in the description box. You can download very easily. And we are providing 1 year subscription. It means whole 2021 year. And we are also providing 2 year subscription. It means 2021 and 22 current affairs will be covered under this subscription. But if you want to subscribe 2020 current affair, then you have to visit our website. 2020 current affairs available in two categories, like a 6-month current affair and the full year current affair, but you have to visit our website for this, that is affairscloud.com/current affair. Now, why you are purchasing this current affair and what we are providing under this subscription? We are providing daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF section, we are providing two type of PDFs. One is related to the theoretical and the detailed current affair of particular day. Second is the question and answer format of the current affair, so that you can easily revise the theoretical current affairs. Next is the weekly PDF, all the current affair arranged according to week wise, so that you can revise current affair very easily. Next is weekly test. It is very important to evaluate yourself that how much current affair you can retain for long time period. Next is the monthly PDF section. It is the most important section because we are providing various PDFs according to your convenience. Like first PDF is the study PDF. It means all the theoretical and detailed current affair will be provided to you under this PDF, so that you can revise current affair in theoretical format again and again, and you can also do the current affair in detailed manner. Next is the question and answer PDF. For revision, you can revise the current affair like the theoretical current affair in question and answer format. Next is pocket PDF. It is very important because you can revise the current affair in theoretical format very quickly. Next is the banking, finance and economy PDF. Very important for those aspirants who are preparing for banking exam, because we are preparing these type of the PDFs only for the banking exam, and it is very useful. Next is the best 100 current affair. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you for particular month, and it is also provided to you in the format of the question and answer, so that you can revise again and again. So all these things will be provided to you monthly, like daily, weekly and the monthly current affair, so that your current affair section will go strong. And the price of this subscription, like 1 year and 2 year, both the prices are very much low. You can subscribe at very minimal cost, and these current affairs are provided in Hindi as well as in English. But on that minimal cost, we are providing 10% extra discount. How you can avail this 10% extra discount? If you use this code ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. So let's start today's current affair, that is 11th of March 2021. And I am again requesting all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe our channel if you are new on this platform. So let's start today's current affair in the first section, that is most important question section, and here is our first question. France conducted its first military exercise in space, and what is the name of this exercise? So one thing which we covered under this question, that which country conducted its first military exercise in space, and the name of the country is France. So you have to remember the name of the country. Second thing, what is the name of this exercise? Third thing, which is very important, that why France conducted military exercise in space. So these three things are very important under this question. So first of all, we are discussing basically the name of this exercise. So guys, very important, the name of this exercise is Aster X. So you have to remember the answer of this question is C option. So why they named the name of the exercise is Aster X? Because the exercise was code named as Aster X on the memory of its first satellite launched in 1965 by France. Because it was the name of the first satellite of France, that's why they named it as a Aster X. Now, why they launched this military exercise in space? Because it is just to analyze its ability against attacks on its satellites and other defense equipment. So it is just to provide security to its satellites and other defense equipment. So you can also see here, France conducts first military exercise in space. You can also see here, Aster X is the first space military exercise of France and also first among the European countries. And this exercise is not only done by the France space forces, it is also with the new US space force, and German space agencies also participated in the space exercise. So remember, it is not only by the France, it is with the United States of America space force and German space agency. So it means there are three countries: France, USA and Germany. So remember this. And the exercise was codenamed as Asterix on the memory of the first satellite launched by the France in 1965, also named as the Asterix. And it is launched because it is just to tackle or analyze its ability against attacks on its satellites and the other defense equipments. So you all, I think, remember about France. President is Emmanuel Macron and capital is Paris. But you have to remember other three options like Shakti, Desert Night and Varna. These are the three exercises which are conducted between India and France. But these are three different because of the military exercises, air exercise and the naval exercise. Like you can see here, first option is the Shakti. Shakti exercise is conducted between India and France, but it is a military exercise. So you have to remember it is a military exercise. Next is a Desert Night. Desert Night is a air exercise between India and France, and Varuna is a India-French exercise, but it is a naval exercise. So one is the military exercise, second is the air exercise, third is the naval exercise, but all these three exercises conducted between India and France. And extracts you know. Now we are moving to next question. Who is sworn in as the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? So there are two things which are important. One is the name of the Chief Minister. Second is the number wise Chief Minister. It means which is the number or what is the number of the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. So first of all, you have to remember he is the 9th Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. And who resigned as a Chief Minister? Trivendra Singh Rawat. Before completion of his 4th term, you have to remember, before completion of his 4th year term, you have to remember Trivendra Singh Rawat resigned. And answer of this question, because question is not the resignation question, it is the sworn in as a new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. So answer of this question is A, Tirath Singh Rawat. So don't confuse with the Tirath Singh and the Trivendra Singh. Tirath Singh Rawat is a different person and he became a new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and he is the 9th Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. So you can see the picture of Tirath Singh Rawat, and he is also associated with the RSS, Rashtriya Seva Sangh. And remember, Trivendra Singh Rawat resigned. And oath taking ceremony is administered by the governor, and governor of Uttarakhand is Baby Rani Maurya. And who is the Chief Minister? Chief Minister is Tirath Singh Rawat. And guys, remember the oldest national park of India that was established in 1936, that is the Jim Corbett National Park or the Hale National Park, also situated in Uttarakhand. There is a very important Valley of Flowers National Park. There is a Rajaji National Park. There is a Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve, one of the 18 Biosphere Reserve of India. So remember Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. So these all things are in Uttarakhand. And remember about Tirath Singh Rawat, he was the first education minister of Uttarakhand, because Uttarakhand was created in a year of 2000, and he became the education minister for 2000 to 2002. So remember this. And he was also an MLA. It means he was elected in the Legislative Assembly from the Chau Batkal constituency from the 2012 to 17. It means for the 5 years. And he was elected in the 17th Lok Sabha in 2019 from the constituency of Gadwal Podi constituency. So you have to remember these things, because these questions can be put by the examiner or can be asked by the examiner. So these are the very important things. I am again revising all the points, like he is the 9th Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, you have to remember, and he was the first Education Minister of Uttarakhand. He was also an MLA from the Chau Batkal constituency of the Uttarakhand from 2012 to 17, and he was elected in the 17th Lok Sabha, that is a landslide victory of Modi ji in 17th Lok Sabha, as a member of parliament from the Gadwal Podi constituency. And guys, you can note one more important information about the Uttarakhand, that only one Chief Minister from the Congress from the Uttarakhand to complete a full 5-year term since the formation of the state in year of 2000. It means only one Chief Minister who completed the full 5-year term as a Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and this person is Narayan Dutt Tiwari. So remember, Narayan Dutt Tiwari of Congress is the only Chief Minister of Uttarakhand to complete a full 5-year term since the formation of the state in year of 2000. Now we are moving to next question. Who is appointed as MD and CEO of Asset Reconstruction Company? And it is the most important question, but I am giving you the hint that he was also the MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. Central Bank of India. But recently we covered this question that Matam Venkata Rao, M.V. Rao, become the MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. So the former MD and CEO of Central Bank of India, Pallav Mohapatra, was appointed as the MD and CEO of the Asset Reconstruction Company. So you have to remember he was the former MD and CEO of the Central Bank of India. And guys, remember Vinayak Bahuguna was the former MD and CEO of Asset Reconstruction Company, and Rama Mohan Rao Amara. And who was this person? Very important appointment of 2021, because you have to remember he was appointed as the MD and CEO of the SBI card. This is again very important. Next is Andy Jassy, very important appointment, because he was appointed as CEO of Amazon. CEO of Amazon. So these are very important appointments. I am again revising you. Like Vinayak Bahuguna was the former MD and CEO of the Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. Pallab Mohapatra was appointed as the MD and CEO of the Reconstruction Company currently. Rama Mohan Rao Amara was appointed as the MD and CEO of the SBI card. And Andy Jassy is currently the CEO of the Amazon. So these four appointments are very important. And guys, remember who is appointed as MD and CEO of the Central Bank of India, and name of this person is Matam Venkata Rao, and the former was Pallab Mohapatra. So very confusing, but you can recall these, very important. Former Central Bank of India Chief Pallab Mohapatra appointed as MD and CEO of the Asset and Reconstruction Company of India. Now we are moving to next question. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Maitri Setu bridge between India and Bangladesh on which river? So examiner can ask you three things. One is the name of the bridge between India and Bangladesh. Second, the name of the country that Maitri Setu bridge inaugurated between India and which country. Third is the river which we are asking. So answer of this question is simple again. Answer is C. Answer is Feni river. So Yamuna is just a name of the Brahmaputra. Jamuna is a name of Brahmaputra in Bangladesh. Brahmaputra is all the course, and you can say the Brahmaputra is a name in India. And Teesta is just a tributary of the Brahmaputra who is meeting Brahmaputra in the Bangladesh. So answer of this question is Feni, and it is connecting Indian state that named as the Tripura. So remember, it is connecting Tripura state to the Bangladesh, and Tripura is now becoming the gateway of the northeastern India. Remember, Tripura is becoming the northeastern gateway of India. Remember this, northeastern. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maitri Setu between India and Bangladesh launched infrastructure project in the Tripura. But you have to remember one most important thing, that the length of Maitri Setu bridge, that is 1.9 kilometer. And remember the name of the river, it is a Feni river, and it is connecting the Tripura area to the Bangladesh. The Maitri Setu bridge will improve the connectivity and enhance economic opportunity for the people for both the countries, because they can move the goods and services, so that maximum to maximum income of the people from the Bangladesh and the Tripura can be increased. Once the Feni bridge becomes the operational, the Agartala will become the closest city in the country to an international seaport, and this international seaport is Chittagong Seaport. Remember, it is an international seaport, and it will be connected to the Agartala, and it will be the closest city in the country to an international seaport. So remember, Chittagong Seaport of the Bangladesh. So remember the Feni bridge, remember the name Maitri Setu, which is given by the India, because this is a friendship between the India and Bangladesh, and India and Bangladesh both are celebrating 50 years of independence of Bangladesh, because Bangladesh got independence in 1971 from the Pakistan. And guys, remember about Tripura. Tripura is important. Tripura Chief Minister is Biplab Kumar Dev. Who is the governor? Ramesh Bais. Remember, Ramesh Bais. R. Bais. And very important national park. Two national parks are very important in the Tripura. One is the Clouded Leopard National Park. Remember, second is Rajbari National Park. Rajbari National Park. Now we are moving to next question. Which state became the first state to have highest number of airports? Because recently 8th airport was inaugurated under this state. And this state is Uttar Pradesh, because the latest airport which was inaugurated, that is Bareilly Airport. And answer of this question is Uttar Pradesh. So just remember the question as in the slide, that which state became the first state to have highest number of airport, and this airport is inaugurated under the Udan scheme of the regional connectivity and Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. And this state is Uttar Pradesh. Total 8 airports working under the Uttar Pradesh state, and latest is Bareilly. So you can see here Uttar Pradesh gets its 8th airport, that is Bareilly Airport. You can see the picture of Bareilly Airport. Now we are moving to the next section, that is the very important question section, and here is our first question. Who released Mobilizing Electric Vehicle Financing in India report? So the most important thing under this question, why this report is published, and it is related to electric vehicles. The report analyzes the risk and market barriers involved in the transforming India's electric vehicle sector and provides target instruments to overcome the hurdles becoming the electric vehicle area. So guys, remember, India electric vehicle market size is very much bigger than other countries because we have a 3.7 lakh crore of electric vehicle market till the year of 2030. That is a huge. But there are so many problems if we are investing in the electric vehicles. Like, we don't have the charging infrastructure, we don't have the batteries manufacturing plants, we don't have so much electric vehicle cars manufacturing plants. So these are the basic hurdles if we want to become the electric vehicle sector company. So answer of this question, and this report is released by Niti Yog. So Niti Yog defined under this report that what are the hurdles and how we can tackle these hurdles for the transformation of the electric vehicles. Like, we don't have the technological cost, we don't have the infrastructure availability, we don't have the consumer behavior. So these things we need to tackle so that we can do the transformation related to the electric vehicles. So you have to remember about the Niti Yog, and Niti Yog is very important organization, and it was established on the 1st January of 2015. And who is the chairman of the Niti Yog? That is one and only person, Prime Minister. Whoever is the Prime Minister become the chairman of the Niti Yog, and first chairman of Niti Yog is Prime Minister Modi ji, because it was created during the time period of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And remember the CEO, very important person, Chief Executive Officer Amitabh Kant. And remember the deputy chairman or the vice president is Dr. Rajiv Kumar. So these three personalities you have to remember about the Niti Aayog. And guys, you can also see here, this is an analysis of the risk and market barriers involved in transforming India's as an electric vehicle sector. And Indian electric vehicle market size is more bigger than the other countries, like it is 3.7 lakh crore by the 2030. And hurdle for transformation, I already told you that technological cost, we don't have any technology related to the electric vehicles, so less companies of the automobile sector that is basically transforming to the electric vehicles. Infrastructure problem is there because we don't have any charging stations, and we don't have any enough resources to create charging vehicle stations. And consumer behavior, we have not any consumer behavior to purchase electric vehicle cars. It means our population is not so much rich that they can buy the electric vehicle cars, because currently the electric vehicle cars cost is so much high. Niti Yog have recommended India's state transport undertaking to deploy 5595 e-buses. So this is the first step that we can do these electric vehicle buses so that the public transport can be easily available. It means we have to deploy first the electronic buses so that public transport can be easily accessible. Next, you have to remember SBI started the green car loan, and by the green car it means for buying the electric cars. So you have to remember it is started by the SBI. And one more bank you have to remember, that is IndusInd Bank. So what is here about the IndusInd Bank? IndusInd Bank offers retail vehicle finance for 3-wheelers electric vehicles. So remember, IndusInd started for the 3-wheelers and SBI started for the car loan. It means 4-wheelers. And guys, remember, Power Minister R.K. Singh launched India's first public electric vehicle charging plaza in New Delhi. It means we are also tackling the problem of the infrastructure by creating these type of the charging plaza, and first was created in the New Delhi. So remember these things, and these are very important. So now we are moving to the next question. Aquaculture tech company AquaConnect partnered with which bank to provide credit access to aquaculture farmers under the Kisan Credit Scheme? So in simple word, you can say that credit facilities will be provided to the aquaculture farmers under the Kisan Credit Schemes. Like they will provided some credit access under the Kisan Credit Scheme with very low rate of interest, and up to 10 lakh rupees will be provided under the Kisan Credit Schemes and the fisheries loan, because these credits comes under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. So you have to remember this name of the bank is Bank of Baroda. So Bank of Baroda is very important for you guys. It was established in 1908, and who is the MD and CEO? Sanjeev Chadha. So remember, Sanjeev Chadha is currently the MD and CEO of the Bank of Baroda. Head office is in very simple word, you can say it is in Baroda, or the new name is Vadodara in Gujarat. And what is the tagline? That is the most important thing, India's international bank. That is the tagline of Bank of Baroda. So you can see here, it is to generate formal credit for over 1 million farmers, because there is a target to provide credit access to 1.6 million aquaculture farmers under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme. and this bank will provide up to 10 lakh rupees loan under the Kisan Credit Scheme and the Fisheries Loan, and this credit comes under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. And the company aims to target the firstly the coastal state, then it will be started in the pan India level. Like firstly they are starting under the Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and the Odisha. So remember about Bank of Baroda. MD and CEO Sanjeev Chadha. Tagline is India's international bank. And where is headquarters? That is in Vadodara, Gujarat, and establishment in 1908. So these things are very important. Don't remember about the ECCO Connect because this is not so much important. Just remember ECCO Connect and Bank of Baroda connected. Now we are moving to next question. Which bank partnered with TR Rain or the Terrain, that named as the Trust for Retailers and Retail Associate of India, to support the youth through skill training and employment opportunities? It means this bank and this organization both will provide skill training to the youth and also the employment opportunities. It means they are basically focusing on the future ready generation. And this bank is DBS Bank. It means I am talking about the Development Bank of Singapore. So you can see here DBS Bank of India joins hand with the Terrain Foundation of Retail to facilitate youth employment. So it is just to support the low income families or the low income households who are pandemic affected and the persons with disabilities through skill training and employment opportunities. So it is just a providing a skilling center. So it is just to support the youth from the low income households, pandemic affected, and the persons with disability through skill training and the employment opportunities. It means they are providing the skill and also the employment. How they will generate the employment? Because they have the partner companies, so they can recruit these persons who are provided with the skills, and they can recruit these persons at very minimal level. So guys, the partnership will lead to 1 year long. It means the time period of this partnership is 1 year, and the Pan India program, which is a combination of classroom and online training sessions. And these training sessions will be conducted at the terrain centers like Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Bengaluru. These are the metro cities and all have the terrain centers. And guys, remember, after completion of the training, candidates will be recruited by the leading partners in the retail and the e-commerce sector in all the cities, like metro cities first and after that the rural India. And guys, remember, main aim to train over 800 individuals by the end of 2021. It means to provide the skill and the employment to the 800 individuals by the end of 2021. This is the main motive of the DBS Bank and the Terrain, that is the Trust for Retailers and Retail Association of India. And this organization is Mumbai based organization. So don't remember, just remember the name. And you have to remember about the DBS Bank of India. It is a fully owned subsidiary of the DBS Bank Singapore, and it comes under the Indian Banking Regulation Act of 1949 because it took the license under this act, and it was incorporated under the Companies Act of 2013, not the RBI's Act of 1934. It comes under the Companies Act of 2013. Its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Moving to next question. A book titled Karunanidhi, a life authored by whom? So very famous personality if we are talking about the Tamil Nadu, because Tamil Nadu history, Tamil Nadu culture, or you can say all the Tamil Nadu things will be affected and created by this person, that is known as the Karunanidhi. So it is very important personality. So you have to remember about Tamil Nadu, you have to remember about Karunanidhi, you have to remember one most important party, that is DMK. And because DMK is created and popularized by this person, that is known as the Karunanidhi, or you can say M. Karunanidhi. So this book is written by A.S. Paneerselvam, and he is one of the Hindu editors. So remember A.S. Paneerselvam, and other name you can see here: Kanimoji, the daughter of Karunanidhi; M.K. Stalin, M.K. Selvi, you can say the son of the Karunanidhi. So these are very important again personalities, but especially for the Tamil Nadu. But you have to remember A.S. Paneerselvam. Karunanidhi, a life. It is just a political career of the Karunanidhi. A book titled Karunanidhi, a life by the A.S. Paneerselvam, and you can see the picture of the Karunanidhi. Reader's editor at the Hindu, A.S. Paneerselvam, authored this book Karunanidhi, and 80 years political career of M. Karunanidhi. And Karunanidhi served as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for the 5 terms and the leader of Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam for the 5 decades. It means he was the leader of DMK party for 50 years. That is a huge, you can say, the respect of Karunanidhi within the party. So you have to remember, he was one of the founder and also the very important leader of the DMK party. So remember the name, that is Karunanidhi. Moving to next question. Which company signed a MOU with Odisha's Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation to jointly set up a state-of-art plastic park in Paradip, Odisha? So first of all, the important thing, it is the first plastic park of India, and it will be established in Odisha. So this is the first thing you have to remember. Second, it will be established by which company? And second is the Odisha Government Department Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation. So you have to remember about the name of the company, and name of the company is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. So answer of this question is A. So you can see here Naveen Patnaik ji, the Chief Minister of Odisha, and here is the Narendra Modi on behalf of the IOCL. You can see here Indian Oil Corporation and the Odisha's government signed MOU for Paradip Plastic Park in Odisha. But you have to remember, it is the first fully operational plastic park in India which is situated in Odisha. Yesterday we did a question related to again Odisha, that India's first World Skill Center will also be established in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. So first plastic park in India, first World Skill Center which is providing skills to the youth in Odisha, and third thing again in Odisha, that is the world class center of excellence in chemical engineering and technology, and it will also be the first center of excellence in chemical engineering and technology in Odisha. So three things you have to remember which comes first in Odisha. So total 6 plastic parks were formulated by the Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizer, and first park will be established in Odisha. So many students are now thinking that what are the plastic parks? So guys, remember, a plastic park is an industrial zone devoted to the plastic enterprises and its allies industries. And these plastic parks are being developed by the state government. Like you can see here is a department of Odisha, that is Industrial Infrastructure and Development Corporation. It means these plastic parks are being developed by the state governments with the support of the Department of Chemicals and Petrochemical Ministry, or you can say the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. So that's why on behalf of the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizer, the organization is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. So remember this is very important. You can also see here we were talking about the 6 plastic parks. One location is in Madhya Pradesh. Second location you have to remember again in Madhya Pradesh, it means 2 in the Madhya Pradesh. Third location is in Odisha, we already covered. Fourth location is in Assam. And the 5th location is in Jharkhand, and 6th is in again Tamil Nadu. So you have to remember 2 in the Madhya Pradesh, 1 in the Odisha, 1 in the Assam, and 1 in Jharkhand, and 1 in Tamil Nadu. So these 4 and 2, 6 plastic parks will be established. So now we are moving to next question. Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda inaugurated first of its kind Tribes India Geographical Indication Mahotsav in which state? So by the option you can say we are asking about state. So first thing you have to remember that who is currently the Union Minister of Tribal Affairs, that is Arjun Munda. Second thing you have to remember, this is the first of its kind exhibition featuring the geographical indication products from across India. And the Tribal India Geographical Indication Mahotsav is very important because it is organized by a very important organization, that is TriFed, which is basically promoting the tribal products. And this named as the Tribal Cooperative Marketing Federation of India, and who is currently the managing director of this organization, Pravir Krishna. So remember this. And the state under which this Tribes India Geographical Indication Mahotsav is launched, where this institution is situated, the answer is very simple, Labasna institution. So remember, where is Labasna institution is situated? It means we are talking about the UPSC or Indian Civil Services Training Center or the Probation Center, that is known as the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, and this situated is in Uttarakhand, exact place is Mussoorie. So Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda ji inaugurated this Tribes India Geographical Indication Mahotsav in Uttarakhand, exact place is Mussoorie, and another exact place is exactly Labasna. So you can see here, Tribal Minister Arjun Munda inaugurates TriFed's Tribes India Geographical Indication Mahotsav at the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of the National Academy of Administration, that is in Mussoorie. So you can see here, it is inaugurated in Uttarakhand, and it is first of its kind exhibition featuring the geographical indication products across the India. So it is just to increase the awareness about the geographical indication tagged products among the IS probationers at Labasna, so that when they will be posted in any state, they have to focus on the tribal products so that their income and the livelihood can be enhanced. So remember, Union Minister Arjun Munda also inaugurated the 130th Tribes India showroom in Labasna, Uttarakhand. and who is the managing director of TriFed, Pravir Krishna. So these things you have to remember. Now we are moving to next question. Which company partnered with Razorpay and HDFC Bank for property service pay rent through credit card? It means HDFC Bank is providing this credit card which is powered by the Razorpay to those persons who are basically residing in the rental house and they want to pay rent through the credit cards. So this company is Magic Bricks, who tied up with the HDFC Bank and Razorpay to provide these credit card so that the you can say the rented person can pay their home rent by this credit card. So you can see here magicbricks.com ties up with the Razorpay. Razorpay is a card providing company and HDFC is also the card providing company for credit card rent pay. It means it is powered by Razorpay, but this card is provided by the HDFC Bank. So it is just to create a secure online solution pay rent feature for the rent payments through the credit cards. Using credit card for the payment of monthly rent will increase the reward points and get offers on the credit card payments, and this credit card will be issued by HDFC Bank. So remember about HDFC. HDFC is important for you. HDFC is Housing Development Finance Corporation and it was incorporated in 1994. But you have to remember HDFC tagline, we understand your world. And remember who is currently MD and CEO, Shashidhar Jagdishan. So these three things you have to remember. Moving to next question. Which state signed MOU with the IBM to introduce IBM STEM for Girls program? So first of all, you have to remember this STEM for Girls is an initiative started by the IBM under the corporate social responsibility. It means CSR responsibility. It is IBM initiative that is STEM for Girls. So what is the meaning of the STEM? STEM stands for science, technology, engineering and the mathematics. So these four fields will be associated for the girls so that girls can be or the woman can be Atmanirbhar or the self-reliant. So this is the main initiative of the IBM. Now a state government tied up with the IBM so that they can also provide this type of the facility to the girls. And this state, again we are talking about which state? We are talking about the Uttarakhand. So you can see here Uttarakhand under the Samagar Shiksha Abhiyan links MOU with the IBM for the girl child education. So in simple word, you can say this program under this, you can say STEM for Girls program in around 130 secondary and higher schools will be selected across 5 districts of the Uttarakhand, like Dehradun, Pauri Gadwal is there, Haridwar, Almora and the Udham Singh Nagar is there, but you don't have to remember these 5 districts. Just remember 130 secondary and higher secondary schools are selected under this program so that under this 3-year program, IBM and the government of Uttarakhand can provide the facilities which can encourage the girls to take these disciplines like science, technology, engineering and the mathematics, and every kind of the facility, every kind of the skills will be provided under this program so that the skills can be enhanced to the students and they can become the self-reliant, especially for the girls, because this is for the girl education. So you can see here it is for the 5 districts of the Uttarakhand and 130 schools are selected, like the secondary and higher secondary schools are selected. It is to increase the participation of the women in the STEM fields like science, technology, engineering and mathematics. The program will focus on the enhancing the skills and careers around 25,600 students in STEM fields, and especially it is only for the girls. And STEM for Girls program is a corporate social responsibility program of the IBM which was launched in 2019 to just provide the skills and just to enhance the girls education. So remember IBM and state of Uttarakhand. We all covered about the Uttarakhand because it is the 3rd time that we are discussing about the Uttarakhand. Now we are moving to the important question, and here is the question. Who published a report titled Connecting to Thrive Challenges and Opportunities of Transport Integration in the Eastern South Asia? So this report is related to the transport sector, especially in the Eastern South Asia. And according to this report, India and Bangladesh have the potential to increase their national gross domestic product by the road connectivity. And India has a potential to grow by the 8%, especially in the road connectivity, and 17% in Bangladesh with this road connectivity. It means they can improve this transport and they can increase their gross domestic product by 8%. India can increase their gross domestic product by 8% and Bangladesh can increase by 17% by the road connectivity. And this report also suggested that the 4 countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal, these 4 countries become the eastern sub-region countries, and these countries became an economic growth pole for South Asia. So these countries are very important countries under the Southeast Asia, and they can be the leader of the economic growth of all South Asia. So this report is published by World Bank. So you can see here the 4 countries like BBIN countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal. So these countries are the main hub countries and they can become an economic growth pole for the South Asia. So remember, this report is published by World Bank. World Bank, you all know that it was established in 1944 with the International Monetary Fund. So it means the headquarter of World Bank and the International Monetary Fund can be same, and headquarter is Washington DC. IMF also in Washington DC. And president is David Malpass. And how many countries are member? 189 countries member. But don't compare with the IMF. IMF countries are 190. Recently Andorra was added. And remember, president is David Malpass. Now we are moving to one-liner important points, and here is the first point. First point is 52nd CISF Raising Day 2021 was celebrated on the March 10. So the most important thing here is the CISF, and why it is celebrated on the 10th March? Because Central Industrial Security Force was established on the 10th March 1969. By the Act of Parliament it was established, and Act was passed in 1968, and it was 10th March 2021 when we are celebrating 52nd CISF Day. And guys, remember what is the function of CISF? That is Central Industrial Security Force. So its main work to provide security to the major critical infrastructure installations of India, like nuclear installments, or you can say the space establishments, airports, seaports, power plants, any sensitive government building or the heritage monuments. And guys, remember, CISF Director General is Subodh Kumar Jaiswal, and headquarters is in New Delhi, and it works under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Next is DRDO successfully developed the air independent propulsion system. It is not so much important, but you have to remember about the DRDO. So DRDO head is G. Satish Reddy, and DRDO was established in which year? It was established in 1958. And remember about G. Satish Reddy, 1958, not 89, 58. Next is CRISIL has projected India's growth rate to grow at 11% in financial year 22. So the most important thing here is the CRISIL. So you have to remember, it is a parent company of Standard & Poor, which is a credit rating agency of USA. And who is the managing director of the CRISIL? Ashu Suesh. So you can remember with my name, that is Ashu Suesh. But where is the headquarter of CRISIL? Headquarter is in Mumbai. And remember, in 2021-22, it means the current financial year, India will grow at the 11%. Next is OECD raises GDP forecast of India to 12.6% for financial year 22. So guys, remember, CRISIL predicted at 11%, but OECD predicted overwhelmingly 12.6%, and it is again for the financial year 21-22. So the most important thing here is the name of the organization, OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And where is the headquarter? Headquarter is in Paris. Next is the Uttar Pradesh gets 8th airport at Bareilly, and UP becomes the only state which has the maximum airport, that is the 8 airports. Next, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Maitri Setu, and it is on the Feni River, and it will connect the India and Bangladesh, and especially the state of Tripura. Remember, the capital of Tripura is Agartala. Chief Minister is Biplab Kumar Dev, and who is the governor of Tripura? Governor of Tripura is Ramesh Bais. And guys, remember, Clouded Leopard National Park is in Tripura. Now we are moving to the question of the day. Question of the 10th of March 2021 was appointments of all India services are made by. So many students are basically saying UPSC, and so many students are saying president. So who is right? Prime Minister and Parliament is not given by anyone. So C and D are out. Only options A and B are A and B can be corrected. So UPSC is not the answer, because all the candidates who are basically qualifying UPSC exam, like Indian Civil Services exams, are recommended by the UPSC, but they are appointed by the president. So remember, we are talking about the appointment, not the recommended. So when the UPSC is sending list to the president, on the heading they are writing that we are recommending these candidates for the appointment. So ultimately the appointment is done by the president. So answer of this question is B. But now we are moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is, the people of the Indus Valley civilization worshipped these 4 options like Vishnu, Pashupati, Indra and the Brahma. Today is Mahashivratri, and the answer of this question is also related to the Mahashivratri, because whichever is the answer, is related to Shiva. It means it is a prototype figure of the Shiva. And this figure was found in a very famous site of the Indus Valley civilization, that is Mohenjo-daro. So you have to remember. And you have to give me answer only in the comment box. If you like this video, then please provide us 700 plus likes, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and please press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And if you are watching the videos regularly, and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDF, your current affairs section will go strong. And guys, remember, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun, life is beautiful, and always be happy, because happiness is the key of success. And always remember that 90 to 95% current affairs which are coming in your exams are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is the genuinity of Affairs Cloud. This is the hard work of the team of Affairs Cloud. Thank you again, guys. Take care. Bye bye.